And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show for Friday, October 11th. It's October, it's Major League Baseball, it's Game 5 tonight. My Padres try to stay alive and advance against the Dodgers, who also look to advance. And, well, going to start Yu Darvish on short rest. So I hope it works out better than it did when starting Dylan Cease on short rest. And Dylan Cease had never started on 3 days in his whole career. So you don't do things like that in the postseason and expect to come out better than you were before. So I have my concerns heading into tonight's big game in Major League Baseball. We saw, of course, yesterday the New York Yankees advance here to the American League Championship Series with their win over the Royals. Yes, Garrett Cole. We said all of a sudden you look up and, well, you got Garrett Cole starting a big game, and Cole was terrific with 7 innings pitched, allowing just 1 run, and the Yankees controlled the Royals bats in the last 3 games of the series to really dominate with their pitching, it felt like. And New York will host games 1 and 2 of the American League Championship Series starting Monday. It's going to be a big Monday in the Big Apple. For sure. You're going to have the Mets playing, you're going to have the Yankees playing, you're going to have the Monday Night Football game. So be a big night in the Big Apple on Monday. The Guardians, they stayed alive, and Thomas, my man, called it. And who called David Fry to come off the bench and hit the home run, get the big hit after that? The Guardians have never been able to get through these elimination games when they've had their backs to the wall. They never come through. They did at least for one more night, Game 5, Saturday night in Cleveland, and they'll have another chance to keep that streak alive. They had lost 11 straight elimination games in the postseason, had the Cleveland Guardians and the other team, you know what I mean, the Indians, but Cleveland was able to overcome that hump last night. All right, well, it wasn't a great Monday night football game. It wasn't great for me for sure yesterday. I guess I was, I had some mixed results for sure yesterday. I'm glad the crew did well on the show. Hope you were watching last night here on the Sports Money Network with the guys. They were live for the 49ers and the Seahawks 36-24. It was not as close as the 12-point score indicated. And let me see here. We do have a little bit of breaking news coming in right now. Maybe not worthy of our news logo we have, but it is a little bit of breaking news. And Mike made the logo. He's already debuted on the channel, but I do have some important breaking news. It's not urgent, but I do want to test the breaking news banner. So let me go ahead and run it right now. And I do have just a little bit of news. All right. I needed that, but that was just a test. It is breaking news, seriously, here. Not a big deal, but tonight's game between the New Orleans Pelicans and Orlando Magic preseason game, that's going to be canceled due to just cleaning it up here after the hurricane. We know Orlando didn't get the brunt of it necessarily, but we know the whole state pretty much, at least the Panhandle, has been affected here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the CCD on my scorecard here just to let you know New Orleans and Orlando has been canceled tonight in the NBA. Well, maybe we get some better news, some other breaking news. We can run our little banner there. Whenever you see that, I'm not going to fool around with it. It's got to be at least significant to the betting board or in our lives a little bit to make that go off. But thank you to the crew for making that. And I want to say hello to everybody as well in the chat. Thank you for joining me here on the Sports Money Network for the show. Get to your comments here in the chat. Not a long show today. We'll talk a little bit about college football, certainly, including last night's games here. Of course, talked about the Niners just a moment ago in the NFL game. They continued their dominance over Seattle, and I tried to buck that trend a little bit, but sometimes you got these division rivals, man, they just have their number, and no matter who was in or out of the lineup right now, it doesn't matter. It seems like when Brock Purdy's in there, that seems like the big deal continues to be. I think we all can agree he's a pretty big star in this league. Maybe he's had some great talent around him that's kind of taken away from his spotlight, but I don't know. Just seems like the Niners always have a few guys out here or there, and Purdy seems to keep stepping up. Last night, college football, James Madison rocked Coastal last night, just crushed them, gaining over 420 yards. They scored those 2 TDs very quick, and they moved to 5-1. Western Kentucky, we did pick up a premium pick winner there with the Hilltoppers. How about the helmet with the logo, the famous eyes of the Hilltopper mascot? He's kind of a grimace-like character. That was kind of unique there. The cartoon eyes on the side of the helmet. Oh, that was the big story. More so, the story is UTEP is now 0-6. The Hilltoppers dominated that game. Middle Tennessee got rocked by La Tech, and hopefully that young man, Michael Richard, is okay. Yesterday, I think it looks okay. Certainly, there we're still thinking about that situation, how scary it was. It reminded us so much of DeMar Hamlin, didn't it? The way they made the hard tackle, got up, was being helped to the sideline, and collapsed right there. And when the game is being resumed, it's not great. It was a very scary situation, certainly, especially in the Conference USA Freshman of the Year last year to collapse like that. But the fact that the game resumed, doctors know, and they're not going to play that game. Yeah, they took his shoes off, and they were winning the game. They were going to win that game anyways, with Bullock looking so strong early. But resuming the game was the best sign that his health will be hopefully managed well here moving forward after that scary incident. But again, seems like there's something to that, the way these guys hit. And he was the one, remember, they reviewed him for targeting, and he was the one that was down, for over, it seemed like 20 minutes we were working on him. So good sign, though. Didn't, he had his eyes open when he was taken off the field. So good player, too, certainly. At Jacksonville State, they rocked New Mexico State to win their 3rd straight game. They're putting up big numbers here right now. And, we just flopped on a few games here. You guys had a few right, though, yesterday here. Team Steam consensus yesterday, including the Cleveland Guardians yesterday in that playoff game. All right, let me say hello to everyone, get the show rolling here, see who's here. And AOD is a new subscriber member to the Sports Money Network, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Ray Otachi was here today, and Ray says with Yamamoto pitching, he likes the Padres to take care of this one. I'm just concerned Yu Darvish on short rest. Maybe I'm just being a fan now. Joe T, good morning and hello. Make sure you check out our community tab here on YouTube. We got some other things we're working on here at the Sports Money Network, hopefully to keep you engaged and keep you on Team Sports Money. But check out our community tab right now with Joe T's plays and other plays from the crew every day here on YouTube, the community tab here on YouTube. Lando is here. Robert McCormick is here today. He's taking a look at the action in soccer today, mostly international play here, but he's also, of course, he says he's got African Cup of unders here, and it did all the early games yesterday were under, but the late games in the African Cup went over. I know that. Good morning. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money Network, here on YouTube. Irish King says he had a strong day yesterday. I wish I was following Irish King. I was up and down like a bride's nightie. JPZ's here. R. Thompson's here. Joe Alvarado as well. Thomas, there he is. He had to fix the logo there, the saying there. Hit the thumbs up as well. Give us a like here on the Sports Money Network. Share it, smash it, like it, all that. R. Tom's talking about, hey, why not? Why don't I talk about one of the big games last night? I'm looking at a few highlights here. We saw the show and Stewart miss that second free throw, but what a comeback by the Minnesota. I guess I did have a decent winner out there yesterday with that WNBA game. We did have it here on the show, giving out the Minnesota Lynx. I did like the under in that game, but the Lynx, first team ever to come back from 15 points down in the finals with under 5 minutes to go to get the victory. It took overtime, but the Lynx are up 1-0. And really, it was I was like, oh, I'm fading Jonquel Jones. She was tough down the stretch. But in the end, really, you can't lose that kind of lead, is what it feels like to me. A 15-point lead at home with under 5 minutes to go after they made that great run to get that lead back up again. That has to be demoralizing a little bit. The Lynx, Williams, yes, Collier was solid, but Williams was big too. The 4-point play was the key there on that jumper, and she got knocked down. So very, very exciting WNBA game. I don't know if it was overshadowed by some of the action there. A lot of people were paying up to it. Old E there, take care there in Florida. And let's see who else. That might be it here for the crew. We'll just get the show started. We won't be here but an hour, it feels like today. Kind of a short card, certainly. Here, 4 in the NBA, 4 in the NHL, the baseball game. We got 3 college games, 2 added board games, and I will throw out a couple of picks early. I think I've zeroed in on a couple of picks here on the show with our extra games here. Also, there's CFL in the Carla Football League, and there's now 5 games in the NBA. So we'll take a look at those. And there it is. Terrell says, I did. Who took the Bucks? I did. I came in here talking a bunch of garbage that, when you see LeBron, why are we making a trip to Milwaukee for one game? I was like, well, they're not going to want to play this game. The Lakers came back to get that win yesterday. Or did they win? I don't even know, but they came back anyways and spoiled that pick, that's for sure. I think I have it written down here. Lakers went on to win. We did have the VIP pick. One area where we swept it yesterday was a 2-0 with the VIP picks in the NBA. Those are our free releases over there at Winnable. We also rolled. Remember, I said take the underdogs in those first 3 games yesterday, and I think they all won outright. Indiana, Utah, and Charlotte. Philly Eagle Flyer here today. Justin, good morning and thank you for coming. Nicholas Handy as well. All right, gang, I'm ready to go here. Let me see. Here, I got our new graphic up, and I'm going to preview my own picks here as I get ready with the show. All right. Just finding my new toys they gave me here. All right, I think I got it. There we go. Check me out over at Winnable. You get some additional free picks from me every day. Got free picks over there. You can subscribe for nothing, and I send out some picks every day. We didn't do that great on our tennis today. We just went down here moments ago with Jakob Mensik. I took him over Joker plus 4.5 games. He won that first set. The 19-year-old did a great job, but we do have Paolini here that we gave out. I think Paolini's probably going to be able to get home in this one. In fact, it is over now. Let's see here. Paolini gets there plus 4 games against Qinwen Zhang. Final there in games 15 to 11. A push. All right. Well, head on over to Winnable anyways. My subscription package here for the day. And okay, there we go. I'll get it right here with all these, a few bells and whistles here with the gang. But I'll have some picks over there, including premium picks tonight in a few of the sports. You can subscribe to my plays, use the promo code STEAM at checkout, save 20% off all of the premium pick packages. This is where I send out. I'm going to give you some free winners here, hopefully momentarily on all these sports, but my work is not done, and I'm going to give you more picks here. If you just subscribe and sign up, it's free, or you can get the picks that are behind a paywall as well. I got both. So, all right, let me get squared away here in the satellite studios, get rolling with the show. Thank everybody for coming in. All right, well, we can just start to preview the Padres and the Dodgers. And, guess I can cross my fingers. How's that for a handicapping strategy here today with Yu Darvish? Now he'll go on short rest. So the Padres, maybe, if anything, Mike Schilt has done a great job this year. He might be a candidate for being one of the top managers in the league this year, but maybe they've made some mistakes here down the stretch, and I have my concerns about the game tonight. Despite what was being said in the chat, maybe he can motivate me a little bit that the Padres can find a way to get this done, because I just have worries, actually, about Darvish coming in here. I know against Yamamoto, maybe that will be the benefit the Padres need to face the Dodgers. I don't know, overpriced pitcher here, maybe. He does have 3.48 ERA this season. He went 12-7 with the Dodgers this season. The Dodgers went 12-7 with Yamamoto. Yamamoto 7-2 this season for the Dodgers in 19 starts. Darvish made 17 starts this season. He was away from the team for about half the year with some family personal issues, so he came back. We didn't even know if he was going to come back there for a time, but he did and was pretty good. 3.15 ERA this season. 13-4 the Padres were this season with Darvish on the mound. So let's see what you guys maybe want to do in this one. I mean, got a little bit of steam here coming in on the NHL right now. I'll just run it down. Flyers and Canucks. This one's moving higher here. It was 6. Are we going to see 6.5 tonight between the Canucks and the Flyers? Looks like it. We're already at 6 over 25 at Circa, 6.5 under 15 at Bet Online, 6.5 under 17 at Bovada. It looks like we're going higher here right now. Eberg says, how do these guys do against Darvish? You know, that's great. I'll call that up. I don't have a problem running down the HBP here right now. I think I can pull that up probably as we talk about it. Let me see here. I think I have it here. Not something I usually do during the show, but certainly something that I look at every day with the batters and everything. So let me see if I can get that off. If it takes too long here to get it on the screen, or get it up over here on the computer. I might bypass it. We do have Robert here on the over. That's what I count on you guys to do sometimes. Put that info in there. Justin here, he is on the over in the Dodger game. Philly Eagle Flyer is on the Dodgers game to go over again. M Looks is on the Dodgers. Ray says Tatis over in his walks. Is that a real thing? That sounds cool. Okay, let me see here if I can get the MLB head-to-head here a little bit. Oh, I don't want to keep the show waiting here. I want to come through for you guys and get you the info you need. Hey, if I didn't know you guys were so hot on that, I would have that ready to go. Padres team total over here for Jermaine in this one. Let me see what my splits analysis says at least here with the matchup. And so I would say, certainly good matchup for both teams' bats. Tatis, Machado, Bogarts. I like their matchup certainly against Yamamoto and against Darvish here. I've got to like Betts. I've got to like Teoscar. I've got to like maybe Will Smith here as well. A little bit of NBA preseason steam coming in right now, and I'm going to like this one today. Washington against Toronto. They're going to be getting 3, probably 2.5 here soon. I'm going to like Washington in NBA preseason action. Some steam rolling in here on the Wizards right now. All right. Oh, gang, I don't know if I'm quite ready for you guys on that information here. All right, I think I got it here. So let's see. Mookie Eberk says, give me the info. And calling it up just for you, Eberk. Even though I hate dead air, it's not like we're on network TV or anything, right? So I think we can do whatever we want. I can just sit here in silence. That would be great for you guys. All right. Mookie and Ohtani against you, Darvish. Mookie is Ohtani is 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. And let's see. Darvish at 192 batting average against this anticipated lineup today. Yamamoto at 381 average against the anticipated lineup here today. Patrick, good morning and hello. All right. Jermaine says, check the Saturday. I am checking anybody's record on Saturdays in a preseason game, Jermaine. You're on your own there. If that's what you're saying, check their Saturday record. Fade the Raptors on Saturday. If you get a chance, check their Saturday. Sounds like you already did the work. I'm not checking any Saturdays to match up in a preseason game. Maybe there is something to it, but not when there's a 50 million college football games tomorrow. All right, gang. Go ahead and give me your picks here in this one. I'm on the Dodgers here. I'm scared. I don't think this is a great situation the way they're handling this pitching staff here right now, and I'm very disappointed looking, tonight. I don't know. It seems like a cop out. I should probably just am I supposed to take my team because that's what you're supposed to do no matter what, right? Throw the handicap out. And again, like I said, that is good information there. 381 batting average for some of these Padres against Yamamoto, including Manny, 1 for 2 with a home run. Tatis 2 for 2 against Yamamoto. So, okay. Okay, thanks, Jermaine. Appreciate that. All right, I'm just going to take the Dodgers tonight against the Padres. I do like the total. I'll have that in my premium package here tonight. Appreciate you guys stopping in here today for the previews. But short show, like I said, and I'll take the Dodgers at minus $1.40 or so here over the Padres tonight. I'm embarrassed to say it. $1.45 now here at Bovada. And Thomas says the Padres have a good team. Do it. All right. Enjoy the game tonight. I'll try. I got a lot on my menu tonight, certainly, but I'll be watching. All right, let's go to college football here now. Looks like you guys don't have much with the baseball game, so I've got some Friday night college football to look at here and try to straighten things out after last night's card. All I really had was the Western Kentucky premium play. Other than that, I couldn't hit on college football last night. So let me turn it around here tonight with the Maryland Terrapins at home, 10.5-point favorite here against Northwestern. I'm showing handicappers so far, mostly on Northwestern here at this point. About, I would say, more than 3/4 of the cappers surveyed on Northwestern here tonight. I'm probably going to be on the under, even though over seems to be very, very popular with handicappers. I'm showing a 2-to-1 ratio. Handicappers on the over here in this one. Northwestern has covered four straight meetings against Maryland, although they are just 1-1 here straight up, 2-0 against the spread in their 2 trips so far here to Maryland. 3 of the 4 meetings between the 2 teams have gone over. Northwestern comes in with a 2-3 record, 0-2 so far in conference play. Northwestern lost their 2 conference games so far, 41-24 and 24-5. Maryland comes in also 0-2 so far in the Big Ten. They are 3-2 overall. They were a little bit closer in one of their conference games so far. Maryland is 19-30 against the spread in conference games with under Loxley as a coach. Terps are forcing turnovers at a pretty strong rate so far this season. The widely reported steam came in on Maryland in this game. I think that's why you're seeing them here right now up to an 11-point favorite. They were as low as 9, I think, on some of the openers here. So also the steam came in on the under, opened mostly 45.5. I will note that Circa did open at 43.5. They're currently 45.5, but maybe that is down from a high of about 46. I'm going to be on the under in this game with Northwestern and Maryland. I do see, like I said, handicappers look like they want to take the over here in this one. Northwestern's also doing it. They're probably doing a better job turnover-wise than Maryland so far. They're plus 13 in turnovers, getting those takeaways for sure. But in their FBS game so far, Northwestern averaging just 15.5 points right now. So Maryland's quarterback's done a pretty good job so far this season, nearly 1,500 yards passing so far, and has 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but might be close enough to be single digits. I'm just going to take the under 45.5 here as my play on the show. And you guys can chime in here now and see what you guys have here. Thomas Lewis will start us off with Northwestern, and Justin is on Northwestern. Art Thompson is on the under. Hugh Janis is here today, says he likes Maryland. Robert McCormick says, take Hemby over in his rushing yards. I mean, I call it my matchups here. Pretty slow day. Ray Ochachi says Northwestern in the first half. Let me see there what I have for Hemby. I'm down on the running games probably here tonight, but I do respect Robert. He said it first, so he probably has a better handle on it than I do. Just looking at my player ratings here. Definitely a few, Maryland players have been banged up on offense. Let me see if I can check the injury report a little bit here. They've had some wide receivers down here. Caden Prather. He's listed as questionable. Ty Felton is questionable. So they've had some issues with the wide receivers right now for Maryland. A little bit of guys banged up. I do think Felton could be in here. He was a little bit limited last game. Ended up with only 5 targets after the big game he had in the CS matchup against Villanova when he absolutely went off, but he also had big numbers against Virginia, 117 yards, 152 yards against MSU. So, Felton is your big play man on the field, certainly tonight. Check his status. Like I said, he is on that injury report listed as questionable, and he is an impact player, and Prather as well. I mean, he's their number 2 guy for sure. And beyond, I mean, those guys have put up strong numbers this season. As Prather, he had 5 receptions for 66 yards against IU, and he also put up some. Let's see here. What was his other good? Oh, against Villanova. I always keep missing that game because of the FCS factor. So, all right. Rich Stubbs says that doesn't bother him at all that the top 2 wide receivers are questionable. Take Maryland and the under. Maryland and the under, but the Maryland team total over. So what he's saying there is Maryland blowout in this one, right? Because Maryland to keep Northwestern way down, but still get their team total over. And, you got to figure, their team total here, certainly it's got to be 27 and a half, 28 or so. So I guess what we're looking at there would be, 31 to 10, maybe 31 to 10 might be what Rich is looking at with that prediction. All right. And Thomas says it's a consensus play, actually. Northwestern here today. All right. Let's do it with a little bit of consensus action. I don't think we got anything. There was no consensus yesterday in college football here on the show, I don't believe, right? Let's see here. And what a night. JW, talk about the hockey. We'll get rolling here on the hockey in just a minute. Man, I had some winners, but I had some losers, and it was all over. Man, the hockey, we're going to have a great season, or a wild season anyway, if this goes on. Jermaine talking about his plays as well. I'll tell you mine in just a few minutes here. Terrell says give him Maryland and under. And the Maryland team total over as well. Doing that same exact thread the needle there. A little bit of, like I said, you're going under in the game, but one team total over. So that says Maryland, blowout. Basically what Terrell, I think, is saying there. Again, 31 to 10 or so would be something that could get you home right there. Oh, am I misreading it? Oh, it's a heck of a tight squeeze. I got you. Yes. All right, I got you, Terrell. See, you should get more. You should get a bigger payment, bigger payday on that, right? Okay, and Jermaine, how the Islanders lose to the Coyotes in that game, right? I hear you. I failed in that game too. All right, keep on moving here with Utah, taking on Utah State. Not much of a rivalry right now with Utah State struggling here with a 1-4 record so far. Or I said Utah and Utah State, UNLV and Utah State. I'm thinking about the next game too, Utah and Arizona State. But for the Rebels here, they come in 4-1. They lost last week, and they showed their vulnerability certainly against Syracuse. I don't know if I saw that coming. I thought the Rebels were one notch better than that, but I think these established teams here a little bit. Syracuse came out here on the road and beat UNLV last week. But still, the Rebels were able to score 41 points, and against this Utah State team that comes in 1-4 and 0-1 so far in the Mountain West. They've given up some. They've been up and down, actually. They've had some decent games defensively coming in. They have an experienced quarterback, certainly. The former Iowa quarterback plays now at Utah State. So I think, Utah State, while they have looked pretty bad so far, remember, they've owned this series. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Yeah, it's a different UNLV team here, but maybe there's a little bit of, UNLV coming back to the pack here a little bit. You don't expect Utah State, to be as poor as they are right now. This is definitely a little bit, they're usually better than this. That's all I can say about it. They're not a great home underdog for sure. 7-13 against the spread in their last 20 as a home underdog. They're also 14-18 against the spread last 32 conference games. UNLV's done a real nice job so far on the road, beating some notable opponents anyway, in the Houston Cougars and the Kansas Jayhawks. Outscored those teams 50-27. So UNLV 13-5 against the spread in their last 18 games. As Barry Odom has turned this program around certainly, and they've been underrated here. But man, you're laying 19 points. It feels like I'm just not going to be able to do it. I'm going to take Utah State here, just to jump up here and hang in there somehow within a couple of touchdowns. I don't know if they're as bad as this record currently indicates. At this time, 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under. I'm showing handicappers right now, certainly favoring UNLV, but not by much. Really, it's almost 50-50 between the handicappers. The public, though, certainly 3/4 of the tickets here are on the Rebels, and also 3 out of every 5 tickets are on the over. Over is getting heavily bet in the first half as well, almost unanimously by the public. All right, see if you guys have any plays here in this one with Utah State and UNLV. Here we go. Next, UNLV, R. Thompson is going to be on UNLV here. Robert says, give me the under. 1K's here, says, how about Harvard and Cornell? Hey, okay, how about Harvard and Cornell? I've got the under in the Harvard and Cornell game at 49 here. I think I have a graphic for it, so I probably shouldn't have. I didn't put in time order in that game. I was going to go after the big college games here. Here's over for Justin in the UNLV game at 42.5. And team total over just for Justin with the Rebels here. Rich also likes the over. Thomas says that is too many points. He's going to take Utah State. Ray's going to take Utah State in the first half. Rich says, I'm going to take my chances with some points as well. Terrell says, Utah State, that, it's been mostly the problems defensively for Utah State. And they've allowed over 500 yards a game to their FBS opponents so far. And, 2 of the games they gave up 48 points. They gave up 32 points. And Terrell says, a little bit of comeback here by some of these teams, maybe. I'm going to take Utah State. Plus 19 here against the Rebels. All right, next up is Utah taking on Arizona here in this one in conference action. And for Utah, they lost to Arizona. Did I say Arizona State? Because Utah, of course, lost to Arizona last week at home, 23-10. So Utah is not a very good road favorite. That's for sure. They're 4-10 against the spread in their last 14 games. Although they're 1-1 this year on the road as a road favorite. Arizona State comes in 4-1 as well. They're 1-1 in conference so far. They've had a little bit of trouble defensively, giving up 28, 30, 31 points so far. But the news is, you're going to be having Wilson here at quarterback for Utah as the Cam Rising turns here and rising. Mixed reports right now. What is the late? I almost want to go into the old Google machine here because I think he's going to be listed as probable here for this game, and that's certainly what should change what we've seen. I mean, we've already seen the line move back up to 5.5. Let's see what the latest is. Looks like he's going to be probable for this game, but I mean, how long before he gets, knocked out of the game or just taking a look at some of the news reports here, the latest news reports. I kind of was going off of last night where I thought he was going to be maybe more questionable, but all right. Arizona State's lost the last 4 meetings to Utah, and I think they've failed them all as well. Utah's won and covered the last 4 for sure. 7 of the last 11 meetings have gone under, but if Rising's in, I mean, that is going to change the complexion of the game. I don't think it necessarily gives Utah maybe even the 2 points necessary to cover this extra line here. And I guess it probably would be 4.5 if Rising wasn't playing and they ended up going with Wilson. So I'm going to take ASU here. I don't know if I can do it as a premium because of the fluctuating nature of Cam Rising, playing in this game. So Utah, they, pretty terrific in the conference games. Now, granted, we're in a different conference here, but you're still playing Arizona State, and they've been in the same conference for a while. And Utah, 45-28 last 73 conference games. So against a familiar opponent here, maybe that bodes well for them, but I don't know. I think ASU's done an okay job here. They've got a freshman quarterback, passed for 1,000 yards. He could also run the ball so far with Levitt, doing a pretty good job. So I'm going to take Arizona State here in this one. I'm showing handicappers are almost split right down the middle in this one. Maybe they prefer Utah just slightly. See what you guys want to do on this one. Thomas is on Utah. R. Tomps is on Utah. Hugh Janice says Cam is back. Terrell says it will be warm tonight in Tempe. And Robert says he's got Tyson here to go over in his prop. And, man, that's one area. Utah's done a nice job defensively here so far. But Tyson, man, what did he have last game? Look at those numbers. 2 touchdowns in that Kansas game for Jordan Tyson. All right. Hugh says it's Utah big here tonight. All right, that's going to do it. One other note, if it's on your list there, remember we mentioned it as part of the breaking news earlier this week. Memphis and South Florida game has been moved to Saturday night. there. And also, so let me see. I do have the Harvard and Cornell line, I think, here. A couple more games here today. Harvard, I think we've seen some movement here, actually. Harvard, 11 and a half, total 49 and a half. No, we're right on there. I like the under here in this one with Harvard and Cornell. Harvard comes in 2-1, Cornell 1-2 so far in this Ivy matchup. And also one other game here. I think I actually have a pick here. I'm taking Pine Bluff plus 7 points against Prairie View tonight. 7 and the total. It's down to 6 here. So I guess everyone's kind of feeling the same way I do here. Prairie View down to 6 and the total 50 is 58 and a half. And I'm going to give out Pine Bluff here. I actually like the total in that game. Probably send it out maybe on the VIP today. All right. I think we can keep it going here right now and move to the hockey. Tonight, there are 4 games in the NHL. Let's get on over there and take a look at these. Thank you. Okay, Terrell says they did move that USF game to Orlando. Thank you, Terrell. Great. And still will be played tomorrow, though, I do believe. Otherwise, we'd be hearing about it, right? And Rich took Arizona State. We know what he meant there. Okay, let's go to some hockey tonight with the Lightning and the what? I don't have the goalies in there for the Lightning and the Hurricanes. Let's see if I. There we go. Let me type them in. I think it's Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky against Frederick Anderson. There we go. All right, there we go. Lightning and the Hurricanes $1.30, maybe even a little bit higher here. It feels right now in this one. Tampa Bay's won 5 of the last 7 trips here into Carolina. Handicappers are all over Carolina, it feels like, in this one so far. I'm showing probably 9 over 9, about 9 out of 10 all over the Hurricanes in this one. I'm not so sure. I think it might be one of those cases where we're just early in the season and I might want to be on the Lightning, but I'll just take the under here at 6.5. Probably juice to the under here at this. Oh, yeah, I mean, for sure. It's already down to 6 over 25. So not going to be probably sending this out on that move, but I do like it under. And let me just update it here. Mostly 6 over 25 everywhere, but it's definitely moved lower here. My play is going to be on the under in this game with the Lightning. The Lightning so far. So Carolina was terrific at home down the stretch. I get why everybody want to be on them, especially if it's at a discount price here. They were playing so well at home at the end of the season and in the postseason. So anyways, though, I'm going to end up taking the under here with these 2 teams tonight, Tampa Bay and Carolina. See if you guys have anything in the chat. With the under here for R. Tomps says, give me the Lightning game to go under here. And Robert says, take the Canes in this one. And welcome in the chat to Udaya Saranga. Philly Eagle Flyer says he likes the first period draw in this one and go under. And this is where we're at now, Udaya. This is where we're at on the Sports Money Network here, moving forward from here on out. So appreciate you finding me over here. All right. I think that'll do it for that one in the NHL with Tampa Bay. I'm probably going to have a premium selection here, feels like, in this one. Tampa Bay always does a pretty good job here as a dog. They cover the puck line 13 of 14 matchups in Carolina. Wow. So, I mean, why wouldn't I take it? Now, granted, the puck line is going to be pretty expensive, but I feel like I'm leaning. Did I just hear a steam play here? Yep. Sure enough, Sacramento Kings are getting steamed tonight in that game against the Golden State Warriors. That one's being played in Seattle. Or no, where is that one being played actually? Oh, that one is at Golden State. Okay, here's some steam NBA basketball. Sacramento, they're a favorite here now tonight against Golden State. I think that means probably getting some personnel issues here, maybe for Golden State. So probably going to hit the under in that game. It's already up to 224, but the steam is on Sacramento. They're a 1-point favorite now against Golden State. Golden State open -2. Okay, Jermaine is going to take the Lightning. That'll spur me on there maybe to join him, taking Tampa Bay. Okay, my play, though, is on the under with Tampa Bay and Carolina. Next up is Chicago taking on the Jets. And, saw Chicago here in their first game of the season. The Jets here, though, going to be -240 or so. In this one, there's already been some steam that came in here, actually, though, on Chicago, believe it or not. And let me see here what that maybe has changed the line a little bit. Right now, Winnipeg is down to, -238 at some places. I think it's mostly still plus 220 or so. I don't think the move's been that drastic, but the widely reported steam was reported on the Blackhawks. Anyway, in this one, take it or leave it, I guess. This series has gone under in 5 straight meetings in Winnipeg so far. These two teams, also 5 straight meetings overall, have gone under between these two teams, but I'm not sure that's going to happen here today. I'm probably going to end up taking the total over here, actually, with these two teams. Oh, Winnipeg, of course, they come in 1-0 so far with that crazy victory that they had. What was it, 6-0? So far, trying to remember what that score was actually in that game against Edmonton. 6-0. God. And, of course, the Blackhawks did end up losing that game 5-2 in their opener here. So a little bit of bumpy road here, I guess, for Winnipeg so far. But Philly Eagle Flyer says he's got the Jets to win every period here tonight. And I'm just going to take the over as my play here on the show at 6 goals, despite those trends between these two teams. I mean, you remember Winnipeg, they were having some overs certainly last year at the end of the season. We'll see if that continues, but I'm going to take the over here in this one. Winnipeg, usually pretty adept at covering these puck lines when they're favored. So let's see here. Fernando is on the Jets, and Robert's going to do it here as well in this one. I'm going to take the over as my play. All right, St. Louis is going to take on the Golden Knights here with, looks like, Bennington up against Hill. Let me at least refresh the goalie computer here in case there's any changes. And see if I've missed anything, actually. All right, cover a few trends here while we're going in this one. For the Blues, they come in having covered 5 of the last 6 on the puck line here in Vegas. They've actually done a pretty nice job. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in Vegas have gone under the total when these two teams have met. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, so Soderblom back in the Chicago game. He was in the crease there, I believe, or he is expected to start in that game against Winnipeg. So far here with Binnington and Hill, I don't think we know for sure But those are the projected goalies here in this one. Of course, so far we know the Knights come in 1-0, but the Blues have done a pretty nice job here going 2-0 to start the season. They've looked pretty decent so far. Even though I think they didn't cover the puck line in that last matchup, but I'm probably going to be on another under here with this one. I'm showing handicappers clearly going over here in this one, but I don't have that being the case here tonight. And I'm actually going to be on the under at 6. I liked under. If it was, I thought we'd see a 6.5 here, and I was ready to go for a premium play on it, but I'm just going to stick with the under as my play here with St. Louis and Vegas tonight. The $1.90 or so, now up to $2 here at Bet Online. Not sure I'm going to do much with that. Hello to Goodnight Munchie, likes the Knights on the puck line to roll here against St. Louis. I'm showing handicappers pretty much unanimous so far on the Knights. Robert McCormick says lay 1 game. Jermaine says it's been a little bit of a tough run here early on. St. Louis already playing their 3rd game. Fernando, though, he likes the under as well. I believe maybe in this one. I don't know if it was the last one. Probably in the last one with that 5.5 is what I'm thinking. So I'm on the under here with St. Louis and Vegas. And one other game here tonight in the NHL with the Blues, or the Flyers, taking on the Canucks here. You got Urson for the Flyers, I believe, and maybe it could be Lankinen here for the Canucks. I'm listing Silovs here right now, but I'm not sure what the Canucks are going to do yet in this one. I'm showing handicappers overwhelming here actually on Vancouver here tonight. The widely reported Steam came in on the over for sure, as we mentioned just a little while ago. I'm going to move it up to 6.5 under at this point. I still think there's some six overs out there at Bovada. It's 6 over 25. And it looks like the Vegas books are at 6 over, but most of the other books here are at 6.5 under in this one. So I'll grade it at 6.5. I'm going over in this one with the Flyers and the Canucks tonight here in Vancouver. This is a total under series. There's no doubt about it. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone under, including 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Vancouver. But I'm going to buck that trend here tonight, and I'm going to be taking the under. Vancouver has gone over in 7 of their last 8 season openers. I don't know if I'm that much into that, but you guys got a pick here. Let me know, and I'll get to it now. The Flyers playing their first game of the season, and the Canucks. I meant, home season openers. Vancouver, of course, already has had that. What'd they get? An overtime loss, right? 6-5. So let's see here. And Irish King talking about that crazy win for the Blues last night, coming back while the Sharks look great. We were ready to put the Sharks in the playoffs already after 2 periods. It felt like the way they were playing. I think the Sharks are improved, but that just shows where they're at. Remember, the steam came in on the over on the Blues last night. Here's Robert. He'll agree with me. He will take the over here with the Flyers and the Canucks. And Jermaine says he's on the Flyers here tonight. All right. That's going to do it for hockey here this evening. 4 games, and Got some NBA. Just going to run down the lines here, maybe in the NBA, and make a few picks, and then we'll get on out of here with the show. Here we go. Just to get you caught up in what's going on. We already mentioned Toronto and Washington here, and current line is Washington. Maybe it's a pick 'em. Maybe it's Toronto -1 at this point. So pretty big move here to Washington. We already said we're on them. The steam came in on Washington. Let's just move Washington to a 1-point favorite here right now, and the total is at 222 or so. There we go. And with the Wizards here tonight. And also the Philadelphia 76ers will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're playing this game in Iowa, in Des Moines, at the Wells Fargo Arena. So neutral site game for the most part. Maybe Minnesota could be designated the home team with a little bit, but they are designated the home team, of course. They're a 4.5-point favorite here, and the total is 223. I like the over in this one tonight with Philadelphia and Minnesota. The Kings and the Warriors, we just talked about it moments ago with that steam that came in on Sacramento. I like the under in this game. It's up to 224 actually right now, and the Kings, maybe this one I better at least switch for the visuals, because the Kings are now at least a 1-point favorite. Maybe they're a pick 'em at some places, but the Kings have moved to a favorite. I would imagine the Warriors stars may not be playing here. Let's see, 224. There we go. All right. And a couple more games here. Detroit will take on Phoenix tonight. I don't think I have anything quite yet on this one. I know I promised you pick a game, whether I handicap it or not, or, of course I look at every game, but just couldn't come up yet anything in this one. We'll look at the line move a little bit later. Definitely moving a little bit lower. It's moving towards Detroit here at this point, with it now at 3-2-18, pretty much is what I'm showing. Here we go. And tonight in Seattle, it's going to be Portland and the Clippers. This one's all the way down to 214.5 for good reason. I like this one to go under tonight. Clippers are up to a 4-point favorite. They're playing this one, I believe, at the Climate Pledge Arena. And I'll take the under as my play. We've already lost a couple of points here. I like to just kind of follow the moves a little bit when it comes to the preseason, to be honest. And hey, that's been a successful formula actually here. We've been clicking a little bit on the NBA preseason. We had winners here on the show yesterday, like I said. We had Indiana, we had Utah, we had Charlotte. We went 2-0 in our VIP totals as well. Okay, that's going to do it. We do have one game in the CFL tonight. I don't even think I made a graphic for it, but maybe I could pass it along here, as Toronto is going to take on Winnipeg. Winnipeg continues to roll right now. Their defense has just been really the standout unit for me, I think, even though they've done so many good things. I do like the under in this one with Toronto. I think it'll be Toronto falling well short. I think Winnipeg, maybe they can get the money here. They're favored by 4.5, total 49.5, but I've got Toronto and Winnipeg to go under tonight in the CFL. Have I missed anything? Do you guys want to know about anything? Look, there is some soccer, as we saw today as well. World Cup qualifiers from South America. How about Colombia last night? Awful, you can't lose to Bolivia if you're Colombia. And even some of my Colombian friends, they were laughing last night at Colombia losing to Bolivia. That was a pretty bad job. But also there's a international play, African Cup of Unders going on right now. Here are the scores in the second half: 0-0, 1-0, 0-0. And probably more unders to come here. There's all days worth of action in the African Cup of Unders. There's also UEFA Nations League. So mostly international play today here on Friday. And maybe we'll look at those games with this light schedule. I'll probably have an hour or so of free time here after we send out the regular plays. Goodnight Munchie likes Toronto in this one to cover. He says they'll win this one outright in an upset against the Bombers tonight. Want to say hello and welcome to Chosen One. Chosen One, show's over. Thank you for being here. Bob says, hey, I love the African Cup of First Half unders. All right. That's going to do it for the show. We'll do better next time. Tomorrow, we'll be here tomorrow for 2.5 hours, probably going over all the games, picks on every game, I'll send out some of those, some of the packages here for our coverage this weekend early in the morning. You'll get at least the first group of premium picks from me if you subscribe to my plays over at Winnable. This is how you're going to get my best plays for this weekend. So I want you to join me here. I'm going to give a bunch of free winners tomorrow, but you can catch me over at the Winnable app. This is where I send out my best plays every day, and I also have a free package over there of complimentary plays so you can sample it, see what it's all about. And this is how I do business here on the Sports Money Network. Come on the air here with Mikey Money and the crew. Do a show every morning, and I get to tout these wares here so you can get some extra picks. Hey, the show ends here right now, but my work doesn't end, and how are you going to get my best plays if I'm not on the air 24/7? By subscribing to the Winnable app. It's on a browser. You can look at it on your computer. You can look at it on your phone. You see it there. It's got Apple Pay. It's got Google Pay. It's powered by Stripe. So it's a great e-commerce platform. We're not going to spam you or anything like that. It's same platform used by many, many e-commerce sellers now. So it's real solid platform to make your purchases, and use the promo code STEAM at checkout, and that'll save you 20% off my extremely reasonable prices over there. It's really just a sign-up cost. They're $20 a month, 67 cents a day will get you usually between maybe 2 or 3 updates on a slow day, maybe 3 to 5 updates on a busy day, and maybe on a really busy day like tomorrow, we'll be sending out maybe upwards of 5 to 7 updates between the two combined. The free plays over there, sign up for free and get my VIP selections, and then also you can sign up and get the premium pick selections. It comes in just perfect on your phone and everything. So that's how you see it. Let me show it to you. I know Mike made the grab and said, Ramon, stop showing the phone. It's kind of tacky, but I just want to show you how it works on your phone and everything with the payment options, just like you saw there on the screen. And I'll send you more picks. You can turn on your notifications and get them notified when I send those out. I'll send a few out here in a little bit as I sit around and have some breakfast and handicap this card, and of course finish up all the action for tomorrow with our big Saturday card. I've got pages upon pages of games here to look at, of lines and picks to get into the system, as well as tomorrow's UFC action. The gang will be by tomorrow to do a show with the UFC card here, live coverage of the fights coming to us. It's an early start tomorrow, I believe at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, with UFC coming to you from the Apex here in Las Vegas. And the guys will be here, live coverage on the Sports Money YouTube channel of UFC action, including that main event tomorrow night between Royval and Tyra. Tyra about a $3 favorite right now over Royval. I'll have a UFC package sent out with the Winnable app with all of my picks, full card picks for the fight, my winner method of win and round proposition information sent out to you. So please subscribe over there at Winnable. Also, don't forget today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, it's Mike Money with pre-gaming, he'll preview the action tonight in football, in hockey, and that baseball game that John Shaw's talking about. I'm nervous. I want him to win, but I went with the Dodgers here. I just thought the Padres, they may have messed this up a little bit. You saw the runs coming in. That's not the way the Padres, yeah, they can be clutch offensively, but I don't think that's the way they want to do business, if you know what I mean. So thanks, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam. I'd stick around longer, but we're out of sports. So I'll be back tomorrow, though, with a big day planned. All that college football. We'll be talking 2 hours straight college football tomorrow. Join me here on the show. All right. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.